Yay! Welcome everyone to Clobby'S Comics Corner Spinner Rack Time Machine Quick Bits, October 1971, week 3. And of course, follow up to the video that I hope you all enjoyed yesterday, or even if you didn't enjoy it, if you watch it, that's fine enough. I hope you did, though. Yes, we're in week 3, folks. Wow, of October 1971. And for those who don't know, yes, there's a link to all of my Clobby'S Comics Corner videos, which I take a little bitty trip back to 1971 in my spinner rack time machine, which is a TARDIS chameleon, disguised in the chameleon circuit by going all over the place. Sorry, trying not to speak too fast. Maybe that's it. Anyway, a TARDIS in the shape of a spinner rack from 1970. Well, all over time and space, but it looks like a 70s spinner rack, which I love. Anyway, what I do is I've opened up a comic shop in 1971. I used that number because I love the Bronze Age of comics. I love the Bronze Age of comics, and I went with a nice round number of 50. I started this back in September, so I have not been doing it very long. And what I do is I go to my comic shop. As you know, there are tons and tons and tons of comics available, but I pick out 9 to 10 each week of the month, and for my pull list. And I picked the ones that I would have chosen in my 7-year-old self at the time, mixed with some of my 2021, I should say, comic loving sensibilities. I'm one of those who doesn't buy anything new anymore and hasn't for a good while, but I still love comics, and I've been in the business and all that stuff, back in when there was still a Bronze Age, long time ago in the 80s, and even a little bit in the 90s. And so I do love comics, and I thought I would do this for a little bit of fun. And you can please check out the other videos if you haven't already, if you're just seeing this one. This is a follow-up to yesterday's video, which displayed my picks. Of course, that was for week 3, my picks off the rack, or my pull list, I should say. And it was, of course, I just showed them really quickly. Where Monsters Dwell, one of the Marvel reprint monster books, World's Finest, great Adams cover, another Adams cover on Batman, classic issue, 237. Went with a little Gold Key. I'm kind of look, if those you'll see the pattern. I'm a big comic books, and I'm a big superhero, fantasy related, pulp type of a fan of things, but sometimes I go a little bit out of the box with some Gold Key, not too far though, of course. The classic first appearance of John Stewart, O'Neill and Adams team, and then Green Lantern and Green Arrow number 87. Then, of course, Turok, Son of Stone, a little back to Gold Key there. And then Creatures on the Loose, some more Marvel Monster reprint madness. A lot of reprints back then. We talk about it every now and then. The Flash 211, love me some Barry Allen. And, of course, finally, another Adams cover on Justice League of America, number 95. But now let's get to the ones that got away. The ones that didn't quite make the cut. Just briefly here, we'll cover that a little bit. Even though, again, who knows? I might go back into the shop later in the week and grab some of these, not all of them. But anyway, in addition to the ones I bought, you have, again, there were a lot of, I talk about this all the time, a lot of romance books back then, back at Marvel and DC. Reprinting, of course, a lot of them probably, reprints of older, when the romance comics were huge in the 50s and even some of the 60s, I suppose. Let's see here. So you got Young Love number 90 from DC. And again, as I talk about every week, it seems the Gold Key, tons of Gold Key and Charlton toy tie-ins were, toy tie-ins, cartoon TV tie-ins. I'm going all over the place, folks. I'm sorry. I hadn't had much rest. So please forgive me on that. I usually try to be a little more even keel, but don't always work out that way. Hanna-Barbera, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Gold Key. Heartthrobs, more lovey stuff from DC. Porky Pig and Bugs Bunny from Gold Key. Another media tie-in comic. Horror book by DC, Unexpected. Number 130. Wow. Another, oh man, And the gold key with another media tie, in this case, a movie one with Walt Disney, the showcase, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. Remember that? We got an Archie book, Archie and Veronica, an Archie's joke book, a couple of comics that I picked up. Oh, by the way, wow, I totally skipped one from yesterday, but I'll just put it on the other one next week. Yeah, had an accident and left one out. So we'll have to be on with next week's books. No, just do it now. What the hell? This is a follow-up. Yesterday, for some reason, I left it off. And I'm very upset with myself. Fantastic Four, number 118. I never leave out FF. And maybe I just did not load the cover. Probably just forgot it because I'm an idiot that way. So I'll just cover it now, and we'll cover it next week. How about that? I went into the shop, and I missed one. And now I'm unhappy with myself. But let's get to the cleanup stuff. We'll just add that one to next week, and I'll just have to be angry with myself, won't I? I'm good at that. Girls' Love Stories. Aren't you all enchanted by Girls' Love Stories from DC? Yeah, so that's just a few of the ones that we covered that did not make my cut. It just happens that way sometimes. And yeah, how I miss an issue of my favorite comic of all time, Fantastic Four. It just shows, folks, that's 50 years ago. It's been 50 years. I was probably senile when I was 7, and I'm sure senile now. But I want to thank everyone for hanging out with me today for this recap of Clobby'S Comics Corner Spinner Rack Time Machine Quick Bits. There again will be a link in my description below to not only this wonderful source that I use, Mike's Amazing World of Comics, but a playlist of all of my Clobby'S Comics Corners. And I promise I don't mess up and, fumble my words all over the place as I have today, because I guess, I don't know, I'll probably call it quick bits. I was trying to be in a hurry. I don't know. But that would be a lie. I mess up all the time. But if you have not joined the channel, of course, please take a look at the channel. I do a lot of streaming about comics and Star Trek and all kinds of other things. But if you're a comic fan and a fan of comic book history, I'm happy to see you here. Please, by all means, let me know what you think of my choices. And now that, from yesterday, and now that you've seen some of the ones that got away, some of the ones I didn't choose, let me know what you think of some of those, or any of those that you would have picked up. So, again, thank you for joining me for Clobby'S Quick Bits, and I will be here next Wednesday and Thursday for the Clobby'S Comics Corner, week 4 of October 71, and then the Quick Bits the following day on that Thursday. So thank you all so much. Thanks for watching this wreck of a video, because I went all over the place. And as always, a big shout out to my wonderful first officer, the amazing R.M. Raquel Briggs, for this incredible intro extra. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great one.